Alright, what's up, guys? I'm here today as the N.A.S. cameraman, not officially affiliated, with my boy Vin here, coming off his invite with an interesting deck. And we're going to go ahead and go into it, and he'll talk about his matchups and basically go ahead and go through his deck and see what he thought was good, what he thought he could have done better, and let's see what's going on. So what did you do today?
Well, I went in. I did what I had to do.
Did what you had to do.
I scraped.
Scraped, yeah.
So
he did squeeze into that 24 spot.
Scraped. All right, so basically I was just playing Brandedchimera. So my build's a little bit different than what everybody else does. You're going to see a lot of things. You're probably like, why is he playing that? Since I couldn't just get the cards that I needed from there, so I made some little flex spots. All right, basically starting off.
Adapt and overcome.
We're going to play 3 Gazelle, King of Mythical Claws. This card is insane. You basically go ahead, you dump it off Branded Fusion. You get to go some in the Wind Room, and then you add any illusion monster from your hand. It basically starts off your whole combo for free.
So 1 card starter?
1 card starter off of Branded Fusion. It's free.
All right.
I played 2 Big Wing Burfaments. This card is also insane. Basically, you want to go ahead and trip it off like Mirror Swordsman. When it is special summon, I get to go ahead and add 1 Chimera Fusion and or another Beast card. So that basically just starts up the whole engine from there. And when it's used for fusion material, I get a special illusion from grave there. This card comes up a lot. Even if I try to get impermed or stuff like that, I either book it or try to go fusion off with it while I have it on there. So they really can't do anything to stop it.
I gotta admit, the artwork on these is beautiful. Like, this really goes back to that old DM era.
Yeah, it's insane. I love it. Big fan of Yugi. We got 3 Cornfield Coatl.
Cornfield Cobbler.
We've got these things right here. These are basically you pitch and search one of the main starters. So that you go dump off Branded Fusion. You dump this guy off, search him. Basically starts off your whole illusion combo.
Okay.
And then next for there, we got the MVP, my boy, Mirror Swords Knight. So basically what Mirror Swords Knight does is if you go normal summon him, he has an effect to tribute and then special. So you tribute Mirror Swords Knight, you special to Big Wing Burfament, roll off with the combos and stuff like that. These cards are good because when you have the fusion for the Chimera in there, this is a monster negate and this is a targeting negate. And it does come up a lot. And then next,
these are all the Chimera stuff?
These are all the little Chimera stuff,
Right,
little
yeah,
monsters and stuff like that. So next we'll move on to the branded monsters. What I have here, I got 2 Fallen of Albaz. Basically, as your target to dump off Branded Fusion. Even if you have it in hand, it's still not bad because you could go pitch to go Super Poly or whatever your opponent has on there, and it's a good way to bait out negates. Usually what I'll do, I'll just normal summon it. They don't have any response, and I'll just Super Poly the thing away. That way they can't even respond to it. Next, I play 1 Springen's Kit. This card is wild because you can go search it off of Bing Wing Befferment. That goes ahead and it adds.
This can add Befferment. Oh, because it's a beast.
Because it's a beast, so it adds off Befferment. So when you go ahead and you already have the Wind Room on field, you can go ahead, special the kit. I also play a special little spice that we're going to get from there. You can either search off Branded Fusion or opening and stuff like that, but I'll show you the spice in a little bit.
Picante.
Show you the spice in a little bit.
Alrighty. Let's see what
Alright, I also have 2 Alubers.
Okay.
Everybody knows what Luber does. Luber's crazy. Yeah. You go special, normally add Brand and Fusion.
Did you ever use the other effect?
I used the other effect came up once.
Okay.
Because usually by then I have so much resources, like my fusion monsters never really left the field or anything like that. But Luber's the GOAT.
And I said I applied pressure and I didn't let go.
Alright, so now we'll move on into hand traps.
Okay.
2 draw on Lockbird. I play the 2, 3. I find 3 a little bit bricky. Yeah, I want to see it in my hand. But I also have other things that I prefer to see there, so play that too. But yeah, this card comes up a lot. You draw almost any other deck like that, or even in the mirror match, a good draw will stop the whole turn.
Did you play a mirror match today?
I did play a mirror match today from there. I had the Droll. I go Droll them off the Coatl, the Coattail. Nothing much for it.
Just rack them. And
then, of course, we have 2 Ash Blossoms. Ash Blossoms, the GOAT too. Why not, honestly?
Yeah, that 5 guys go crazy.
Alright, so now we'll also done there. We're gonna go into the spells that I play. Oh, we actually have 1 more card that I main deck. A lot of people usually put it on the side. my boy King Tiger Wangu.
So I was seeing this. How do you actually get this out? Like, what is the play with this?
So honestly, the best thing you could do is you can add this off of Birthman as well because it's a beast.
Okay.
So then when you go do the Chimera Fusion, you can send this to the grave,
Okay.
and then you can reset Chimera Fusion off the effect. So what you can do, usually sometimes if I'm not really doing anything or my graveyard is not stacked with the other cards, I'll go either into a Magnum. That way I'll have Disruption, and then I could special off the Chimera effect from grave to banish here against Sprite. Certain soul like Sword Soul, pop every other tokens on summon. You pop basically any link they have on there too. This card came up a lot today. This is like one of my favorite little pieces from there because I can either search it, and worst case, depending on the matchup, if I go against anything else, I just normal summon it, set 2, and pass.
Yeah. All right. Makes sense.
All right, so here we have 3 Branded Fusion.
Shout out to the mismatch rarities.
Mismatch Rare, yeah, I'm gonna get the 3rd one. But if you guys want to go ahead and send me a 3rd one on like mail or something like that, I'm not gonna stop you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Send it to the Dragon Slayer.
Shout out to my boy Rennick. Yeah, he got. Let me borrow one of the other ones. I pulled one. Shout out to Dragon Lair 2. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Rome. Shout out to my boy Sergio. Shout out to my other boy Sergio. Shout out to the gang. You already know who you are. Come on, man. Stop playing.
All right, we drew those at the end, but I mean, he got a little sighted.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, shout out to my wife too. She's awesome. I love her.
Okay.
We can leave that one in there.
All right.
All right, and then we play 3 Chimera Fusions. This card is insane. Basically, as you go ahead, I have to fuse any monster, but I have to use either a beast or a fiend, and then it's not once per turn. So I could usually search off either multiples from there and use them back to back. And as long as I have a Chimera in the field or grave, I can just add it back. This card sets off a lot of things because you know what? I can set that off with any fusion. Magnum's always live. Guardian Chimera is always live. Or any other disruptions from there too. I also put it on a lot of other stuff as well.
Wait, what you mean put it on a little stuff?
So basically what it is, because like worst case if I have a Bephomet and like a Lubra in hand, I go straight into Masquerade.
Got you.
So there's plenty of different options that I can go into as long as I use it, but I'll always have either the Beast or Fiend on field or in my hand.
Yeah, let me real quick. We'll use it.
All right, next up.
Oh, it just has to include a beast in the materials. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, it includes Beast into material.
I thought you had to summon a beast. All right.
Yeah, no, if you have Beast from hand, it's crazy. We got 3 Super Polys, Mixed Match Chimerities. Look at that. Yeah, look at that.
Best fusion card in the game.
This card went ham today because even against the Mirror or if we're going against Branded, by the time they passed their turn, I literally just Super Poly away.
By chance, did you play against any Manadium today?
There was no, I haven't played against any Manadium.
Okay, I was gonna say because when we get to extra deck, I'll mention why I'm asking this. Go ahead.
Yeah, this card against anything, especially even against Rescue Ace. If we go against Branded, if you go against Kashtira at a certain point, you can go and take it out from there. There's plenty of things you can do with Super Poly.
Yeah, Super Poly go crazy.
I also go ahead, I play 3 Branded openings because this is basically their one way to get into a Lubra to get you access to the Branded Fusion engine. That's great. And then if you know, worst case if your fusion monster gets destroyed, you can just go ahead and banish that and it protects it.
Alrighty.
Alright. I also play 3 Book of Eclipse.
Yeah, go card this format, not gonna lie. If y'all ain't on books, I don't know what y'all doing.
I prefer Book of Eclipse over Book of Moon because Book of Moon always targets. And now there's like a million ways to get rid of cards that target. Because even against the Mirror, if I go summon my Chimera and stuff, I can negate it off of Cornfield. So it's like,
I mean, it sucks that they could ash it, but like honestly, you live with it sometimes, and the impact is a lot bigger. I agree with it.
It does a lot for not for free.
Yep.
All right. I also play 2 talents. This card came up a couple times today. It's always pretty good because even under Droll, you can still go rip a card from your opponent's hand. And then depending on how you have it, your opponent rip 1 card out your hand. You rip a card out of your opponent's hand. You tactics, you rip another card out from there. And if they already drolled, that's 3. So you leave them on 2 cards on their turn.
It's pretty good.
I have 1 Call by the Grave because you have to have it as standard in almost every deck list. And then the thing that I play that not a lot of people play, I haven't seen, is Branded in red.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of people play the branded in white. So what did you think the branded in red gave you over the branded in white?
So the thing is with branded in red, because I have the opening, and even if I dump off a branded fusion, branded in red gives me an extra summon, an interruption on my opponent's turn, which I'd rather have them just guessing to see what it is. Because even if they give a way to get rid of my other stuff, I'll still have a Chimera fusion set, branded in red, and if the looper's engraved, depending on like time and stuff like that, I could just go into Masquerade, start burning for there. Like against Pearly, I'd go make Masquerade and just have them keep losing life points to get from there. And by the time they build something in there, I'll go into Guardian Chimera with my Chimera Fusion, pop the other cards, and still plus. This card is searchable off of Springman's Kit, and it's searchable off of Looper for normal summon. So if you have to normal summon a Looper, worst case, and then go into there and get branded in red to search everything else,
Pretty good.
you're gaining. And then you go branded fusion, you can recycle the materials you used, shuffle them back in the deck. So you're just plussing for free.
Alrighty. And the last two cards are good old Imperm.
Good old Imperm. I said, what else can I say about it?
Ain't nothing to say. Now I do got one question. I noticed you're not playing Quem, and I think I saw a lot of lists that were playing Quem. Did you miss it at all? Did you think it was something you might play in the future, or nah?
It's because like the thing is with Quem, what I don't like. Yeah, I can go ahead and dump stuff off and go ham, but like if I'm playing Quem, I have to either play like a Mercurier or something else to really gain like the value off of it. I tried playing with Mercurier, but honestly, sometimes if I don't see Branded Fusion and Mercurier in my hand,
So you just wanted to slim down that branded engine and make sure it was a Chimera deck through and through, and just use the branded as a support to basically foolish the Chimera stuff.
yeah, because honestly,
Okay.
with the Chimera stuff, you go ahead, you gain so much advantage, you rip a card out your opponent's hand, you have a targeting negation, and then you have a monster effect negation. So then the branded stuff just helps enhance it. That's why I play that branded in red, because instead of doing anything else, I can just take whatever's in my grave, use it, because I already used whatever in my grave anyways.
Yeah, it makes sense. All right, now let's get into that extra deck.
It lets you go into Mirror Jade easier too on your opponent's turn.
I was about to show you, but you're washing your hair. I was about to say, look at him wanting to get into this.
All right, so I play one, and let's get that two. I actually pulled this one today.
Yo,
off a
look
nice
at
little
the
thing here.
drip.
So I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and win this one today.
Okay.
I play two Chimera, and then I play the one of the Illusion Beast. Basically, this card is OTK for any opponent's monster that's left in attack position. Because all you got to do is fuse it with Illusion monsters, which you'll always either have on field or hand, depending on how you go search off and everything else. It can attack up to many times the fuse material it has. And when it attacks, it negates your opponent's monster effects and turns it to 0. So you basically just go, you slap this like 3 times, and if you have a Mirror Jade or anything else or any interruption, that's OTK.
Okay, makes sense. Man said, get big. Big body.
All right, then we basically have all of the branded cards that I do play. This is a little bit controversial. I couldn't really get the second Guardian Chimera, so I play the Rin Room, basically the main target that you go off to. This starts the whole combo. You go dump Gazelle, King of Claws, then you search Cornfield Coatl, get that in there, and then your combo's good to go. Albion's always pretty good. Lubellion's great. And then, because I don't have the second Guardian Chimera, I have played 2 Mirror Jade. The thing is with Mirror Jade, like a lot of people just play it at 1, but that's also another target for Branded in red. So I can go ahead, send that guy, activate Branded in red, make another Mirror Jade, gain an additional banish. And then if it gets destroyed, I just blow up my opponent's side of the field, which also triggers my Gazelle. I could banish to special summon any of the other monsters, and then recycle my turn again. And then over here, we have the good old-fashioned Masquerade. That's basically whatever I target for my Aluber. Because sometimes during the matches that I did have, a lot of my matches were either 10 minutes or 40 minutes. So in a grind game, you want to go like back and forth and stuff like that, Masquerade deals that additional damage.
Makes sense.
So now Super Poly targets Garura, Predaplant, Starving Venom, and Mud Dragon of the Swamp.
Alright, so this is where I wanted to mention.
So like a lot of lists that I've seen have been playing the Draco Knight, the one that's from the anime, to actually out that Baron Dispatcher board. So I guess it's a good thing you didn't play against them because that would have been a great target. Although I'm sure you would have found a way to beat them either way. But yeah, that, I don't know if you know what card I'm talking about. The
Yeah,
Draco Knight.
I have seen that Draco Knight thing from there. I haven't played against any Mana DM, but with off of Branded Fusion, depending if we can go work around the Baron, we also have Rinvroom, which, you know, one effect of a special summon monster from the extra XT effect, negate it and send one back over their hand.
Oh yeah, perfect.
So the good thing is you always have the hand traps, and you have a lot of interruptions to go in there. Baron, negate, destroy, that's fine. I'll change Chimera Fusion. Chain Branded in red. Other things from there.
Alrighty, now that's one of the last 2 cards in the extra deck.
So, got the One Guardian Chimera. This card is crazy. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean,
Pop 2, draw
You
1.
managed to get this far with only 1, and this is a Chimera deck, so
Because honestly, you probably only need 1 if you set up the board advantage. Because by the time your turn passes, you can actually go ahead. You can negate your opponent's monster effect. You can go ahead and take a targeting negation and stuff like that. And then the last card, this card is insane. Magnum the Reliever. So basically, what this card does, if I go into it, I can go ahead. I could banish Branded Fusion. And then I can go ahead, like when your opponent activates effect, I banish Branded Fusion, pop a card on your field. And then on top of that, I can go bring back my Chimera Fusion, put it back into my deck, and draw 1.
okay.
The card's nutty.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, Alrighty, and let's see that side deck really quickly.
All right. So basically over here for the side deck, we have one Dark Hole, and we play 2 Nibs. Usually for my hand traps, I like to play them in ratios of 2s because there has been multiple times when I played the hand trap at 3 and I see multiple of.
I find that valid, yeah, unless it's like Baylor or something that's on a hard one for sure, and I agree. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I'll play 3, but I understand the logic.
These guys go crazy.
Yeah, you gotta kaiju over some boards, man.
Kaiju over some boards, and on top of that, it makes your Super Poly live, makes your Faunal Abaz normal summon even better. And if you have monsters defense position, you just summon this guy, make the Illusion Beast, and just beat over it. 3 D barriers because
Best card in the game.
we
right
hate
now.
synchros. Hate
Synchros.
synchros. We hate XZs.
Okay.
Anything that's not fusion, we don't mess with here.
Yeah, I mean, I bet you call those fusions when you play the mirror match, though.
Oh, I do. I make my board, I call fusions, and then I tell them, yeah, go ahead.
Mirror match, she hates fusions.
3 evenly. It's
3
a classic.
evenly.
It's a classic. Nothing said. We'll keep it moving.
All right, so this one's a little funny. I play 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 1 Twin Twister, and 1 Cosmic
All
Cyclone.
right, that's the end of it. Not playing. Why?
Okay, so originally I couldn't find like the 3 Cosmic Cyclones, which is whatever from here. But then I started thinking, because if I have other cards or Luber and like Branded in red in my hand, Twin Twister goes hand, like a discard, pop 2, Branded in red, bring it back. These 3 cards actually came up in like right back to back from different matches for 3 matches. If this is for anything for like anti-spell, get rid of from here.
Listen, I'm gonna let this one slide because you got your invite.
I was like-
'Cause I don't know what this is.
I listen, it worked. It worked.
I don't know what this is.
They
Alright.
all came in handy.
And what is this right here? No, this is just a card you had there. Oh, you literally picked up the card you come here at the event?
That's because my team bought it for me after everything else.
Oh, damn. Shout out to them. Who bought it for you?
It was Sergio and Rennick.
Shout out to them. Alrighty, and I know that you did most of your shout outs earlier. If you have any other shout outs, go ahead and do so. But before you do, I do want to shout out Prodigy Games. They were going crazy. I mean, sale after sale, and clearly you went crazy with that.
I sure did. Shout out to everybody back at home. Shout out to everybody that goes to Dragon Lairs. Shout out to Sally, I think, her for letting us play and play test till like 3 in the morning sometimes.
Alright, well, that was a great deck profile. One more time for the N.A.S. See y'all later.